Alright guys, this is a different kind of video for me. It's topical, it's not a review or anything like that, it's just my thoughts, and I've wanted to make this video for a couple days now. If I don't make this video, my head is quite literally gonna pop, so here we are, I'm gonna talk about this. So a few days ago, a website came out with this article where this guy, I'm gonna paraphrase, but it was basically someone going, I know a guy who saw Zack Snyder's cut of the Justice League movie and it was unwatchable. Which, if it sounds like someone going, I heard from a guy who knows the guy that he saw something that I have no proof that he saw and he has no proof that he saw, but it's really what he said, so we gotta trust it. That's exactly what it is. It is back of the school bus rumor mill bullshit. And it would only be eye-rollingly irritating if it didn't perpetuate the fan divide, and if it didn't happen with Wonder Woman also. Hey, remember Wonder Woman where someone came out and was like, I know somebody who saw a cut of Wonder Woman and it doesn't look good. And then people saw Wonder Woman and it was actually quite enjoyable. Granted, the first two acts of Wonder Woman are smoother than the third act, but the first two acts are so good that it makes me anyway kind of forgive the third act. I see a lot of people saying that Wonder Woman was overhyped. I actually agree with you, but overhyped does not mean bad. Overhyped to me simply means overhyped. It just means that the movie's been talked up so much that when someone watches it, it didn't live up to the hype talk. In that, I'm gonna say this, and a lot of people are gonna be like, what? Star Wars is overhyped. Yeah, I said it, and I love Star Wars. Empire Strikes Back is one of my top 2 favorite movies of all time. However, I know a dude back home who has never seen Star Wars, and I'm just always like, you probably shouldn't. Or if you do, go into it as a movie, don't go into it as like a religion, the messianic cinematic experience you've heard it is, because it's not gonna live up to that. If you're 30 and you've never seen the old Star Wars trilogy, I'm sorry, it's not going to live up to everything you've heard it's supposed to be all your life. Star Wars is a great series of movies, but keep it at that. So back on track here, you see that shit about Wonder Woman and now Justice League. It's like, oh, it's unwatchable, so says someone who didn't actually give any specifics. And that shit just pisses me off because it just perpetuates a fan divide. And it didn't always used to be that way. You could like The Dark Knight and Iron Man. They came out the same year, people liked both. But I feel like if I'm observing, when DC said we're gonna have a cinematic universe like Marvel, then boom, it created 2 factions and now they just always have to be at war. And I've seen this shit 100 times over. It's nothing new. Xbox and PlayStation, Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, DCEU, MCU. This shit happens all the time because it's almost like we're wired for conflict. Reminds me of an episode of Through the Wormhole with Morgan Freeman. I love that show. It's wrapped now, but it's all on Amazon. That's not a plug. That is literally me telling you, hey, you want some good entertainment? These are the things I think about. I don't think about movies 24/7. I love movies, but I think about the subjects of Through the Wormhole. So if you want some good subject matter to get stoned to and think about Through the Wormhole, they touch on whether or not it's in us to have to conflict with people who are not on our side. On one of the episodes, this is great. Because back in the cave days, when you had your cave colony or hut colony, however you want to see it, and someone from another colony came on your camp, you had to be like, that's an enemy because it's not one of us. That had to be your default, otherwise you were probably gonna get wiped out. But we have reached a civilization point where we don't have to be like that. We can get over that shit. We have higher brain function now. We can see someone or something different and be like, yeah, you know what? I like that too. I like them too. So while I understand the knee-jerk reaction to be like, oh, conflict, you're on the other side, conflict, I don't see why people have to perpetuate it past the knee-jerk reaction. If you give into that shit, you are literally giving in to a primordial limbic response. And hey, maybe it's true. Maybe Zack Snyder's cut of Justice League is truly not good. Point is, I don't know, and neither does the person who wrote that first article. However, it was made, and people made videos about it because it's very monetizable. That's right, as us fans conflict with each other on, no, my side's better, MCU's better, no, DCEU's better. That creates conflict, which makes it monetizable. People who make videos profit because fans fight. Since Zack Snyder stepped off the post-production process for Justice League, I believe it was in May, we'll call that half a year before the movie's supposed to hit theaters. That's like someone having a reservation at a really nice restaurant where you have to wear the button-up, the suit, the tie, the cufflinks. Then when they're only half dressed, someone comes into the bedroom and the shirt's not buttoned up, the tie's kind of drooped over the shoulders, the cufflinks aren't cuffed, so the cuffs are just waving around like that when you move your arm. And someone looking at that half-dressed person going, oh, you are just unpresentable. Like, no shit, fucker. I'm getting ready. This is the process. Guys, in the end, this is literally me venting. This is me ranting about this because it's a divide that I see happening that I don't see a need for it to perpetuate. And granted, I know if I'm going to talk about conflict among people, there's more monumental shit to talk about now. I get it. But the fact is, I talk movies. It's what I do. So that's me talking about it. I don't see why MCU fans and DCEU fans need to conflict with each other. And generally speaking, I don't think a lot of them do. I feel like it's that classic case of if you're in a library of 100 people and 5 of them are belligerent, drunk ass loud idiots, that's what you're going to hear. That's what you're going to notice is the loud people. Though it's a small percentage of the whole. So my thoughts on this. What do you think about it? Any of it? Whatever you think, comment below. Let me know as I leave you with the words of the late great Abraham Lincoln, which is, be excellent to each other and party on, dudes.